Hey guys, what's going on? This is Gene, and we're gonna do a quick training on how to create and edit your own amazing videos for your apartment or your home listings, okay? We're gonna utilize two apps. One of them is InShot, INSHOT, and the other one is Bitly, and that's just the link shortener, right? And this framework utilizes the content library that's been built out for you, that is shared with you on Google Drive, and you're able to actually download each single different neighborhood, whatever it's obviously whatever is relevant to your listing, and include it in these videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into my screen right now and share with you exactly how this is done on your mobile phone. It's super easy. Each video shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes, but then you can use this video on Instagram. You can post a link to this video on your your any of your Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace posts, and it's going to it's going to put you apart, set you apart from any other agents, and obviously give your prospects, give your prospective tenants a much better picture of what the property looks like, right? Without actually having to go into it. So it's meant to pre-qualify the right prospect for this place and disqualify anybody that wouldn't want it anyway when they show up. Just give them more immersive experience, okay? So I'm gonna give you a quick framework for each of these videos, then we're gonna dive to my screen, and at the end I'm gonna also give you a little discount if you're interested in getting a wide angle lens for your iPhone. It's a little attachment that goes on your phone that gives you just an easier ability to create much more much better videos, because the iPhone camera, it's still, the lens is very small, but this little attachment, it's like less than $100, gives you an actually much more professional looking picture and gives you more ability to capture more of the room if the room is kind of tight, you know what I mean? So let's go into the framework. All right, so the first part of every video, guys, is what's called a pattern interrupt, okay? Because we live in a social world, essentially people are scrolling by that thing on Instagram. What we want to do is we want to capture their attention within the first 3 seconds. That's the most important part, is the first 3 seconds, because at that point, when they're scrolling by and they see something different, see something weird, that is what's going to make them stop and actually watch the rest of this thing instead of just scrolling by, okay? What I did earlier here, and you're gonna see me do this in the actual edit, is there was a really beautiful flower bowl right here on Calm Ave, and I just shot a little quick video of 3 seconds, and these objects that we can use for pattern interrupt, they're really all around us. Like, think about a time when you were traveling somewhere, and when you're traveling, you're not really like worried, you're just kind of like hanging out, and you see all these cool things around you everywhere all the time. Whether it's a plaque that says something that's on the building, whether it's some just like really cool piece of architecture, a flower bowl. These things, if it's a dog, perfect. Pets, like people always stop in scrolling when they see a pet because people just love them. So those different little things, it's called a pattern interrupt, okay? If you can't get creative, let's say you just can't get creative, just do something like where you're pointing the camera at a ceiling and you're moving down really fast to reveal yourself, okay? Because anybody that's scrolling, they're gonna be like, whoa, there's a lot of movement, what just happened there? I gotta stop and see what's going on. So you just really just grabbing somebody's attention, almost like somebody's walking by the street, you're like, hey, hold on, stop. A person's gonna be like, what's going on here? Hold on a second. So it's similar in people's feeds. So you want to grab their attention. Super important, because that's gonna maximize your actual viewing rate of the video, okay? So that is the first part of the video, is the pattern interrupt. The next one that you're gonna do is you're gonna record a little face intro where you're simply gonna record your face just like I'm doing right now, and you're going to describe the apartment a little bit. So just like, hey, we've got this apartment for you, it's 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, located in XYZ, and it's got this feature, this feature, this feature, all the awesome things about it. Then you're gonna film the interior and exterior. Obviously maybe you just do the interior if it's an apartment. So that is when you take a couple of minutes to actually shoot a little video of the interior and exterior. That way it's on your phone. When you're doing that, obviously you want to be, you want to kind of hold the phone in a way that it's not shaking too much. You can't really do it like perfectly unless you've got some kind of a stabilizer. But for what we're doing for social media, for these videos, everybody understands that you don't have a ton of time to do it. So all you have to do is just really like not shake the phone too much and kind of be a little bit slow. You want to go into every room and give them a few seconds with a very, very slow shot, almost like don't move the camera at all when you're stepping into each single room. That way the person that's watching it can have just a few seconds to appreciate the size, just what the room looks like, the windows and things like that. So you're doing really just a walkthrough of the whole place, okay? That is the next part of the video. Then the next part of this five-step framework, and this sticky just fell off, which is awesome, is the amenity video. So this amenity video, that is those are the videos that are on the Google Drive, and I'm going to show you how to access those with every single neighborhood, pretty much every single neighborhood in Boston and around it, in Cambridge, Boston, that's going to be able to give you an ability to plug in an amazing aerial rich content video into your listing, which essentially gives you a chance to show the person that might be not as familiar with that neighborhood to just really appreciate the beauty of it, what it looks like. You know, we shot these during a really beautiful season in the area, so they all look super great. And then all you do is you film a little outro and a call to action. So this is simply, you want to be telling them how to contact you about this apartment, how they can contact you, who they're contacting, and remind them of your name and just your contact info. So if they want to go through and contact you about it, like whatever your preferred way of contacting you, that's what you do. So you can actually do the face intro and the outro. You can kind of do them in the same video, because you'll see when we're editing these together in a minute, we're gonna be you can simply chop the face intro and the outro. You can split them in two, and then use the face intro in its respective place on the in the second place here on the timeline, and then the outro at the end. So without further waiting, let's go into the screen, and I'm going to show you how to use InShot to actually edit the video. All right, let's go. All right, guys, we're in my screen, and now we're going to go into the first app that I'm going to show you and show you exactly how to edit one of these videos, okay? So the first thing I'm actually going to do, and by the way, I'm on an iPhone, but this works both on iPhone and Android. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the content library and pull out one of the videos that we've shot, okay? So we're going to go into, and on your phone this is going to be a little different because obviously I have different folders on Google Drive, right? But we're going to go into, let's say, Alston, okay? We're in the Alston folder on Google Drive, and you guys are going to all have access to this on your Google Drive as well. I'm going to go to the finished video, and then I'm going to pull down, let's say I'm going to pull down this Alston Insta30 video, okay? So it says guys and pop-up. That means this one has the little video entry into the office, and it's got the call to action at the end, okay? So that is the one I'm going to use. And the way so on the Android, this is actually a little easier, because on Android there's a little download button in Google Drive. On iPhone there's not. So, but all you do is you click send a copy, and then just do save video like this, okay? And it's going to take a few seconds to download, and at that point you're going to be all set. So once we download this, obviously before you start editing the video, you want to have your all of your video shots. So your pattern interrupt, your face intro, and description of the apartment by you, right? And then the actual interior and the exterior of the apartment. You want to have all those little kind of chunks of the video already filmed and shot. Once all of those are filmed, that's when we can go and do the editing. And the cool thing that it's on the mobile phone is that we don't have to go far to edit it. Wouldn't have to download any crazy software, pay for any software or anything like that. It's very, very simple, and it takes about 5 minutes. And this exporting of this Google Drive, it probably is the longest piece that it takes, right? I wish probably I should have been on Wi-Fi to do this, but that's okay. All right, so let's just give it a couple more seconds, and then we'll upload all of these chunks into the InShot app, okay? And I've already, on my way here, I've actually already filmed just a couple of different pieces just to show you how this works. And I'm gonna pretend that I'm editing an actual apartment listing, okay? So this is the main screen of the InShot app, okay? All we do is we click video, okay? Click video and then click new, okay? And now this lets us upload the little pieces, right? The little pieces of the video that we're actually going to include in it, okay? So I'm going to now upload first my pattern interrupt, which is this little flower bowl that I made earlier, okay? So that's the first one I'm gonna add. Okay, boom, added that, okay? Now I'm gonna click this little plus in the bottom left corner to add my, let's pretend that this is an actual apartment that we're listing, and then this is my, exterior and interior walkthrough, right? So this is the next video. Actually, the next one in our sequence, right, is a little face intro. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do next. Just gonna do my little face intro. Okay, then I'm gonna add my interior exterior thingy. Okay. Boom. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my the little amenity video that and so now I'm gonna enter, I'm gonna add the last piece, which is the piece where I have my little, let's see, video, my little, this is gonna be my outro, right? So now we've just added, if you look at our, what's called the timeline down below, we've got the pattern interrupt here, we've got the little intro, we've got the little actual apartment, we've got the amenity, okay, we've got the amenities of the neighborhood, a little video of Alston, okay, then we've got the little outro, okay. And so what I usually recommend to make things kind of easy as possible for you to be able to post this on Instagram platform, for you to be able to post it on YouTube, and kind of just cross-platform on Facebook as well. The most cross-platform version of this video is going to be a square version, okay? So what you do is you go into what's called Canvas right here on the left bottom corner, and this is where you change the size of the video, okay? So what we're gonna do, and you've got all kinds of options here, right? So let's say if you wanted to do a story, you would pick the 9:16. That's a story format. But right now we're gonna do just this 1:1, meaning a square for Instagram, okay? That is the format we're gonna use, okay? And now we're gonna click this little check mark. Okay, so now this video is a square, okay? Now what we're gonna do is, because you see this my pattern interrupt was shot in the it was shot kind of in in an upright way. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to zoom in on it a little bit, okay? Click this little canvas button right in the left bottom corner, right next to the trim canvas. And this is where I'm gonna zoom in this video a little bit. Boom, now our pattern interrupt fits within the square without any white frames around it, okay? Now, let's pause that and let's go to the next one. So my next one is my little intro, right, where I'm describing, introducing myself and describing the apartment. This, honestly, you can have it both with the white bars or not. It's kind of your preference. So if you'd like, you can obviously zoom it in, right? All right, so as you see in these, in our pattern interrupt video, we've got these white bars, right? So we want to make it fit into the square. So we're going to tap this little canvas button in the left bottom corner, right next to the trim. We click canvas, and now we can zoom this video right in and remove those white bars. And then on the right, you see this little check mark. I'm going to tap that check mark. Boom, our video zoomed in. Our intro, as you see, was also shot in vertical mode. And if we want, it doesn't really matter for your intro if you've got these white bars or not, but if you would like, we can do the same thing, tap canvas, zoom this in. All right, now we don't have those bars anymore, okay? Next one is our little apartment. So if you shoot this in vertical mode, right, it's gonna look like this, and we're gonna have to zoom it in. If you shoot it in horizontal mode, which you can as well, so if you ever shoot it, like if you forget to, if you were gonna shoot it in one mode but forgot to do it in another, it doesn't really matter because we can always edit it afterwards, right? That is kind of the beauty of being able to touch this thing up after the fact, okay? And our next one is our little amenity video, right? So this is the neighborhood video of Allston. And this one is already in a square format, so we don't really have to touch anything here, okay? And now we're gonna, now we have a little call to action. Now, I'm actually going to split this video in two, and I'm not gonna include this call to action because this little graphic here, right? Because we have our little outro at the end of our apartment, right? So it's gonna look a little awkward if we get this thing before our little outro, okay? So let's go ahead and trim that. And to trim it, all we do is we click this little button that says trim on the left. Okay, you see the little scissors. Click trim, and now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this back a little bit, okay? And if you'd like to have this little fly in into the office, you can. I'm actually probably not gonna do it because I wanna go straight from the neighborhood to the outro. And in fact, you don't even have to like show them this whole video. It's really up to you, but I'm probably gonna cut it like, yeah, I'm gonna cut it right here where there's this train and it just shows the green line. And then on the right, you see this little check mark as always. So we're just gonna do this little check mark and click, tap it to trim this video. Or what you could do also is you could simply split the video in two, right? So you set this little splitter, and now it's gonna split it from this little train, okay? Okay, so right when that's ending, and it's actually gonna have two of these parts. So what we can do now, because it's split, okay, we can actually keep this neighborhood video here. And now all you do is you hold down the second part of the video where we have our little office fly-in and our little graphic. We can hold that down, okay, and move it towards the end of the video after our outro, because it looks kind of cool. It's a really cool way to end the video. So now we've just split it, and now we've just moved it across the timeline after our outro, okay? Very, very simple. And now that's at the end of the video. So now this is our neighborhood videos here. We've got a little outro. Now we can zoom in our little outro. Okay, this is where you would be telling them, hey, if you like this apartment, I would love to show it to you. you know, any kind of requirements that really make your prospect a good prospect for this apartment, a good tenant for this apartment. You mention them here, and then you mention your contact information, and we're also going to have it called out in text, which I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, so now our video is pretty much, you know, it's kind of ready to go from just a video standpoint. Now we're going to add a little bit of text to the video, okay? Which, let's do that next, okay? So we're gonna do text, and let's say our pattern interrupt, we're actually probably not gonna have any text in our pattern interrupt, because that's just meant to, you know, take 2 seconds and get people's attention, okay? Then you have to think about this. A lot of people are going to be on social media and they're not going to have the sound on, so when they just see your face, it doesn't really tell them anything. Like if they're, you know, if they're browsing at work in the office, the sound is off and they're like, all right, who's this, you know? Unless you're like super cute, like you're not gonna they're not gonna care to watch you. So that's what you do, and you add a little text, okay? And as you see, I'm not super cute in this video, so like I'm gonna have a little text for these people to watch my listing, okay? All right, so now we're gonna do something like, you know, 2-bed, 2-bath, and I'm just completely making this up, right? In Allston, Mass. You know, we're marketers, right? We're marketing this property, so we're gonna put something like amazing, spacious, 2-bed, 2-bath in Allston, okay? We've just added our little text. You see this little color palette here, and we can choose which color our text is in. Obviously, you gotta be cognizant of what's behind the text. That way, the text is actually seen. Okay, and we're also want to be cognizant of, you know, just grabbing people's attention, making sure that this text is kind of popping across what's in the background. And now you can, you know, zoom in, zoom out from this text bar, and kind of move it really anywhere you want it in the video. And as you see at the top, there's these little justify buttons. You can actually like justify to the right or to the left and all that stuff, okay? So, and you can even like, you know, do a little shadow to your letters and all this just like crazy stuff. You can have a little border, really whatever you want to do. But we're gonna now tap this little check mark, okay? Oh, and by the way, if you see down below, you can add these little frames to your text, okay? That way, if the background is kind of, you know, distracting, you can actually make it called out in this yellow text, which looks really awesome. It looks like a, you know, little bandit sign or something, and it really grabs attention. It's really easy to notice, really easy to see, whatever, and doesn't matter what's in the background, because we've just added the background to our little text with these buttons down below. Okay, now we're gonna tap this little check mark on the right here next to the letter A. Boom, check mark. And now notice you can actually so if you hold down this little text bar right in your timeline, if you hold it down, you can actually move it around. Or if you want to extend this text to be, you know, longer than a certain specific part of the video, you can do that, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap this little check mark, okay? And now I have my text in there. And now I'm gonna have, so this says amazing spacious 2-bed 2-bath in Allston, Mass. Now I'm gonna click text once again, and I'm gonna add another, you know, click this little T plus thingy and add more text, which will say something like, you know, something cool about the apartment. So let's say brand new kitchen, okay? Boom, I just added that. I'm gonna zoom it out a little bit, move it to the corner so people can kind of still see what's going on in the video. Tap the little check mark. All right, now I just added brand new kitchen here. Then let's keep going. We can add another piece of text. And this is like, you know, the apartment that you're listing, you know what's, you know, what makes it sell, what are the selling features, you know, so like, you know, elevator and whatever it might be that actually sells this place. Okay, you can also add, and I kind of do recommend this, especially in your pattern interrupt. You can add these little stickers. Okay, and that the stickers just make it more like social media friendly, and just kind of grab people's attention. So you can add these little stickers to your, you know, make them like make sure they look happy and all that stuff. But this is another thing that you can do to add these things. You know, in fact, you can actually do a little Instagram sticker. I would do this probably in the outro, not in the intro. So let's move it to the outro. Okay, because remember, this video you're gonna post it on both YouTube and Instagram, right? If you're doing this the right way. So what we can do now, we have our little sticker that says follow. We're gonna add a little text, okay, that says, you know, let's say I want them to follow me. Okay, obviously I don't rent apartments, so this would make no sense for them to follow me if they're trying to look for an apartment, but just as an example, right? So now I just added my little call to action. So in my outro, I also say where to follow me for more listings, right? And boom, I just ended the video. Okay, so now we've got our timeline all figured out. We've got our little text call outs, and you know, quite honestly, this video is, you know, it's pretty much ready. Like it's already maybe at like 97% or better than 97% of agents out there that are listing properties, because you have a video of this property and it looks freaking killer. Okay, and you just all right, so now our video is pretty much better than, oh, it's already better than like 97% of agents out there, especially, you know, for, you know, let's say you've got a sales listing, you could probably use this for that. Apartment listings, you know, it's a very fast business, and you know, it's kind of crazy to have like a professional video person to come in the apartment to film it and stuff like that. That's why we're giving you like these tools to actually do it yourself. And just with a video like this alone, you're already going to be like way ahead of anybody, and just give your prospective tenant a much better experience, not only with you as the agent, but also, of course, to have a more immersive experience of the place and of the neighborhood. And just really, you know, everything here is meant to close that deal faster, to get that person into the apartment faster, and to get you to your, you know, whatever your next listing is. Now, let's talk about a couple of things that we can add here to actually, you know, kind of improve this thing a little more. If you're you know, really about the aesthetics of this thing. If you see in our timeline, there are these little white bars. It looks like a little, you know, slash, right? Looks like a little compass logo actually. But we're gonna click this, okay, and these are the transitions. Okay, so these, there's all kinds of them. There's you know, the most common ones are just like fade in and fade out, right? It kind of shows you when you tap on it, it shows you what that transition is going to look like. So this is really up to you. I usually just do fade in. I even do fade in professional videos that we do for sales listings, because that is just, it's the easiest on a person's eye. Okay, if you do some crazy thing like this, you know, if a person is older, they might throw up when they're watching or something like that. It's kind of crazy, right? So I really recommend just fade in or fade out, and you can even like make it faster or slower, fade in or fade out. Okay, so you can quickly go in and just tap each single one of these little buttons, add your fade ins, boom, boom. This is all a very, very easy, fast process. You just go ahead and fade in to these videos. Now, from the amenity video, from the location amenity video to your outro, that's where, you know, you could probably do a little bit of a cool, interesting transition that would just bring them back right to you. And that's what we're gonna do here. Okay, so now we've just selected our transition. And this is one of the paid ones. Okay, so you have to pay for these crazy transitions. All right, well, no thanks. We're just gonna use our transitions that are already proven. Okay. All right, and now you've pretty much got your, you've got your all your video here set up. The thing that we need to add here at the end is, obviously, if a person is watching this without sound, okay, that's one thing. But if a person is watching this with, actual sound on, the long pieces of your video where you're actually showing your apartment, okay, you're actually gonna want to have a little bit of music there, because otherwise it's just going to be a silent video, and it's not going to sound look as cool as if there's no background music. Well, the cool thing is InShot actually gives you some sounds that you can add, okay? And you see this little music button right here in the middle. So I'm just going to click that. I'm going to click tracks, and you can either record. See this little record button? You could record yourself talking about the apartment as you're walking through it. I realize, probably you could do that, and some people do it. Or if you're walking through the apartment, and if you're doing your little walkthrough tour and you're walking, you're talking while you're doing that, obviously this is not going to be a silent video. It's going to have your voice in there. But let's say you forgot to talk, or you don't feel as comfortable, you just want to focus on the video itself, you can add a little track. And InShot provides you some free tracks, which is awesome, and they're actually pretty good. I like this one that says "For Love." Okay, and now we can actually make it so, obviously we don't want this music to be in all of our things. Okay, we're gonna just hold this little track down, hold the little pink bar down, move it towards where our little apartment showing actually starts, our little walkthrough, okay? And now we're also going to trim it to end where our apartment's ending, okay? So apartment showing, okay? Alright, so now we've pretty much trimmed it. If you didn't talk during your walkthrough, you can now still, you're now still able to that's backing up your little walkthrough tour, okay? Now, notice that we actually already have sound and music in our little, amenity and neighborhood videos. So what we can actually do is, if you would like to keep the same music as is in your apartment, we can just tap this little clip right here, right? This is our neighborhood amenity clip, and we can mute, you see this little sound bar? We can mute the music that was already in there with this little sound bar. Very, very easy. And now we can actually extend our little track here, covering our amenity video as well. Okay, so now, as you see, it extends across the whole thing, and we can have it play pretty much right up until our outro. Okay, so right here, this is probably the only difficult thing about it, you got it matched up. But obviously it's worth it, because this is a very, very okay. So now we've got our whole tour. Let's play it back real quick. Our little pattern interrupt, like, wait, what's going on here? All right, and now you're talking about the apartment. You've got one clip of the interior, one clip of the exterior. All you would do is you just kind of mend them in here. And at any point, if you got to cut something out, you can, as I showed you before, you can simply just trim it from that that little clip instead of you know, keeping parts that you don't want in there. Okay, so maybe like 5 seconds into this as far as editing this thing, but obviously it's because I'm explaining a lot to you. This is really an investment of 5 minutes into each one of your listings. That's going to be incredibly, incredibly immersive, which you really just, you know, as far as competition goes, most people have not seen tours like this. That is the end of our little session here with editing the actual video. And now the last thing, you know, I'm gonna show you how to export it, and then I'm gonna show you how to actually get it on, let's say get it on, obviously on Instagram. You know, it's pretty simple as far as getting the video there. You just do it from your phone. But one more thing I'm going to show you today is that how to, once your video is up on YouTube and you want to use the YouTube link to include, let's say in your Craigslist or in your Facebook Marketplace posts for the apartment, I'm going to show you how to actually shorten that YouTube link to something that's going to be very, very easy for the prospect to copy and then to go from Craigslist to YouTube and actually watch it, because Craigslist doesn't allow any videos. Okay, and so this is what I'm going to do right now. Save. Okay, and now it's going to take a little bit to process. Craigslist doesn't allow any video, they only have photos, but we're going to be able to kind of Trojan horse our way in to YouTube or to Craigslist with our little tour. Okay, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that with the second app that I want you to use, and that app is a free app. It's called Bitly. Okay, it's simply it's Bitly, and it's just a link shortener. Okay, it's a link shortener. So right now, notice we just exported the video. It's processed. Now it says saved. And we're gonna click this little save button, and all right, it's just it's saved to album. Let's go ahead and make sure that it actually saved. We're gonna go into photos. Okay, and yep, our video is saved. Okay, and mind you, on Instagram, just a reminder, most people probably already know this, but on Instagram our limit is 59 seconds, right? So Instagram's gonna force you to kind of trim this, unless you do what's called a carousel post, where you can have like a bunch of videos at the same time. But with carousel, what you got to keep in mind is carousel, they can't be square. They have to be like rectangular 16:9 videos from what I believe, and that might change by the time you're watching this, but just make sure that you can make sure that you actually do this. So now we're gonna go from here, because we've already, you know, downloaded the video to the phone. We're gonna go into our YouTube account. Okay, into your YouTube account, your little YouTube channel, and yeah, you do have to set up your YouTube to actually be a channel, right? To actually have a YouTube channel so you can actually upload in there. But from there, it's very simple. And right now I'm on airplane mode, so I can't actually upload stuff, and I'm not gonna, because it's just a test. But it's just this little camera button right here in the top thing here, and all you do is really just like boom, and you upload your video, okay, to YouTube. Now once you do that, okay, and I'm actually gonna get out of airplane mode because I want to show you how to shorten that link. Okay,
So let's say I wanted to, let's say, let me just go into like, I'll just go to some random video. Okay, let's like this is just a testimonial video. I'm gonna get the link from that video. Okay, I'm gonna copy the link. Okay, now I'm gonna go into my Bitly app. Bitly right here, it's a free app. And now this is really cool. This is actually, you know, some people buy a whole .com domain just to point somebody to their YouTube video. We're not gonna kind of waste our money, and we're just gonna go into Bitly, click this little plus button in the corner. Now we're gonna paste our YouTube URL. Okay, boom. Now we're gonna do create. Okay, create. So that just got created. Now we're gonna go into it and we're going to edit it. Okay, so I clicked the little edit thing in the corner, this little you know, sheet of paper with a pencil in the top right corner, edit. Now we're going to, let's name it something. Let's pretend our listing is called 150 Harvard Ave, Allston. Okay, and now we can actually customize this Bitly link to say 50. Let's do 150 Harvard, and sometimes it's going to be taken already by somebody else, and in that case all you do is you slightly change it, like make it Harvard Ave or something like that, right? Just make sure that it's unique. Let's see, 150 Harvard, boom, that was actually available. So now anybody that goes to 150 Bitly/150 Harvard is going to end up on our YouTube video. Okay, let's test that out. Right, so there we go. The video that I used is actually a video that it goes to. So that is super, super cool. And now when you're posting your little Craigslist post for, or your Facebook Marketplace post for your apartment listing or for your whatever listing, you can now say, hey, if you want to watch the video tour, just go to bit.ly/150 Harvard. And Craigslist doesn't allow it to be an actual hyperlink because Craigslist doesn't want to drive traffic away from Craigslist. They want people to spend time on that platform. But we're Trojan horsing our way in with that link, and it's very easy. People already remember Bitly. Everybody knows about Bitly. They know it's very familiar. They trust Bitly links because it's a known name, and it's very easy for somebody to just copy and paste that link from the Craigslist post and boom, put it in their browser, and now they're watching your tour. Okay, and make sure when you do your YouTube upload, in the description, because that's where people are going to end up, make sure in that description you actually list out your contact info. That way people know how to take the next step to actually contact you about the listing. Okay, so that is super, super advanced but easy way to create your tours. And now I'm gonna actually give you guys a little special discount too, and it's actually, I'm gonna give you a Bitly link for that discount, right? Because Bitly links are amazing. I'm gonna give you a little discount. You're gonna get 10% off on what's called a moment lens. Okay, so if you simply go to bit.ly/myphonelens, okay, I'm an ambassador for this thing, so yes, I'll get a little kickback, but you'll also get a little discount as well. You'll get 10% off of any products that you purchase from Moment. Okay, so just go to that link, click start shopping, and I'm going to show you the product that I'm actually talking about. This thing is an attachment for your phone camera that's going to make that's going to fit. Essentially, imagine stepping into a small room and you can't really see the edges of the room because of your camera. This is going to actually expand that area of what you're able to capture with your camera, and it's called a Moment wide lens. Okay, and it's $100, so yes, it's an investment, but trust me, your videos are going to look just that much more amazing. And because you're going to be able to, it's almost like shooting the video with a wide angle camera lens, because actually that's actually what it is, but it's, you know, you're able to attach it, simply attach to your iPhone. And I'm pretty sure they actually do it for Android phones as well, like the Galaxy and the Pixel. So there's a wide collection here, and they've got phone cases that work with these cameras too. It's I highly recommend you use this and enjoy it. Okay, so to get that, the link is bit.ly/myphonelens, and that's going to give you a little discount from me for that store. Okay, so guys, I hope this was super helpful. I can't wait to see what your listing videos look like, and if you have any questions, reach out to me. Otherwise, good luck, crush it, crush the competition, be better, and we just gave you some cool tools to be able to do that. Like I said, it's a small investment of time, 5-10 minutes to create this thing. But then, let's say a prospect reaches out to you and they're like, oh, hey, can I see the apartment? You're like, yeah, of course, sure, you can see the apartment. Let's set up a time. Meanwhile, go and check out this video. Boom, you send them the bit.ly link. They just, you kind of further sold them. You showed them the apartment. You got you agitated them a little further towards this place. Or you just disqualified them because they're like, oh, you know what? No, I hate it. Because they just got a more commercial experience, and now they're not going to waste your time during that showing and hate it anyway, because you just showed them what it actually looks like, and you disqualified the wrong prospect, or you further qualified the right prospect. So guys, hope you enjoyed this, and till the next time.